He was the only guest that night, just him and the dark desert outside. But at exactly 3:12 a.m., someone knocked. Not on the door, not on the wall, but from inside the mirror. And when he looked up, his reflection wasn't alone. Room 6 was small, dusty, and had no windows. Just one bed, one buzzing ceiling fan, and a tall rectangular mirror nailed to the wall across from the bed. He had trouble sleeping. Something about the silence outside made it worse. There were no crickets, no cars, just nothing. At 3:12 a.m., he sat up straight in bed. Knock. One loud, clear knock echoed from the wall, but not from the door. It came from the mirror. He stared at it confused. His reflection looked normal, but after a few seconds, it blinked. Except he hadn't. Then, behind his reflection's shoulder, something moved. A tall, thin silhouette slowly leaned into the frame. No face. Just a dark outline. He turned around instantly. No one was there. The room was empty. He looked back at the mirror. It was cracked. A long, jagged split ran down the center, but only inside the glass. He touched the surface, smooth and cold. But the crack was there, moving slightly, as if the glass was breathing. Then he heard it. A voice. Whispers. "You're not supposed to see us." He backed away. The whisper came again. Louder. Asterisk, "You should have stayed asleep." Asterisk. He grabbed his bag, stumbled out the door barefoot, and sprinted to the front desk. The night clerk didn't flinch when he explained what happened. He just stared for a long time and finally muttered, Asterisk, room 6 does that sometimes, but not always at 3:12. Asterisk. Matt demanded a refund. The clerk smiled slightly and said, Asterisk, you already paid. And it's not the kind of place people usually come back to anyway. Asterisk. At sunrise, he got in his car and drove away without looking back. Several hours later, when he finally got a signal, he tried to pull up the motel listing online. Nothing. No website. No reviews. Not even a street address. The map showed nothing but empty desert where he remembered it standing. A week later, he returned to that stretch of highway just to prove to himself it had been real. But the motel was gone. No ruins. No foundation. Just sand and wind. At the edge of the road, half buried in the dirt, he found something. A piece of broken glass. It looked like it had once been part of a mirror.